And go.
All right. Well, welcome to the Supergood podcast. I'm Zeke.
My name is Sterling.
And today we have a special guest with us, Mr. Aubrey Ball. Aubrey, what's good?
What's going on, man? How y'all doing? What's
Good.
going on?
Good.
Why don't we just start, Aubrey, just introduce yourself and just give us a quick description, who are you and what do you do?
Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? My name is Aubrey Ball. Located here in Los Angeles. Recently modeling. I do a lot of runway, print modeling, catalog modeling, as well as a professional athlete. Currently playing in the Los Angeles Drew League. Sponsored by Nike. It's always been a dream of mine too. It's a big league to be into. So, just currently chasing both of my dreams in both aspects, and just thank God, for where I'm able to, be at right now, and consistently moving forward with new opportunities every day.
Yeah. So Aubrey and I met on one of these large Nike lookbook shoots.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Got to spend a couple of days together, running around the south side of LA, taking pictures on rooftops and whatnot.
Oh yeah, man.
It's pretty cool.
A blessing, yeah. Big blessing.
And then so we've kind of stayed in touch. You went overseas for a minute, right?
Oh yeah, I did. I went to Croatia, signed a 3-month contract.
Tell me about that. Yeah.
Man, it's always been a dream of mine, man. You know what I'm saying? Of course, playing, professional, but it was different just adjusting, between the food. It's a little different, the driving,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? They actually drive on the opposite side of the car, so
Right.
I had to get used to that.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about Croatia is they actually have the highest car wreck rate in Europe. So it's I had to be real cautious, man. But
Right.
between, that and the season, I had a good season. I came in mid-season where they were looking for a scorer. So I got to come in there with a good opportunity. Ended up averaging 19.6 points a game. It was the top league also. So it was real beneficial, man. Helped me grow as an athlete, helped me mature as an athlete as well. So
That was 3 months, you said?
yeah, 3 months. So between December and February.
Was that your first time playing out of the country?
Yeah, it was my first time playing, yeah.
Pretty wild.
It was,
Just the difference between
difference, yeah.
Venice
Just being an American, playing, over there is just a different role, different game, real fundamental, So I got to come in there, kind of add attributes of a American athlete, a little bit more craft, a little bit more creation. So, yeah, definitely.
Was it pretty diverse in terms of the actual league, the players? People from all over the world, or Americans? Or?
I mean, how it typically goes is teams get 2 Americans per team. So you see pretty much a lot of foreigners, which could be from anywhere. But then most of the go-to guys are going to be Americans. So,
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? So I say between the actual European players, everybody's pretty much, kind of the same, shooters, real fundamentally sound. But I think the difference on all the teams is going to be the American players. What kind of difference can they make? And how can they change the game, from our aspect?
It's crazy that everybody ultimately wants to be over here to play basketball. Compared to soccer, they have all different leagues that are really good leagues, but ultimately, all those players, the American players go over there and are game changers on the teams.
Exactly.
But, what I'm saying, everybody's trying to get over here, so.
No, exactly. Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%, man. I can say myself, my dream is to play in the NBA, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, just playing it in the biggest league, the most competitive league, with the top talent in the world. It's just something, I always felt I'm able to do, and, that's what I'm aiming for. So, yeah, I definitely relate to everybody over there. Because even the American players that go over there, their dream is to possibly get film and then come back over here and play. So
right, my boy Casey Terrio, I don't know how many they won in a row, but in the German football league, he goes back every year and just plays and balls out. Yeah, and they won
back
5 years in a row, something like that.
Oh yeah,
New Yorker Lions, but so same thing. I know quite a few people that go overseas, but I mean, it's just one step closer to the ultimate goal.
Ultimate goal, yeah, of course, yes sir.
Well, and the Ball family just sent 2 of the kids over, right?
Oh yeah, 2 of the
Are they still there?
No, I think they actually got back to America. I know Jello, he's he entered the draft, so he's over here probably, training for pre-draft workouts. And then the youngest one, I'm not sure if y'all familiar, but LeVar actually started a league here in America.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for all the top talented high school players and college players that, usually one and dones that, for exposure in the summer. So
smart.
Yeah, I know that starts mid-June. They was advertising that, so I think that's what Melo, he's back here to get involved in that.
Nice.
Yeah, for sure.
And so you said that you're trying to do Drew League next?
Oh, yeah. So I'm already on a team. I'll be playing with Jug Life this year. So, I met with the coach last week, looked over some of the players. He's really excited about me playing with him. So, I'll be playing in the Drew League, man. Just it's a tough league to play in, but you know, I just want to come in and make an impact and, you know, to continue to make a name for myself as a basketball player.
How do you balance the hybrid, like with modeling is a whole thing in itself. Like you could just do that.
Yeah, for sure. But, I mean, you know, the basketball portion is just it's so natural to me. You know, I've been training my whole life. So, you know what I'm saying? Even being a model, you want to be fit. So right. It kind of go hands in hands, you know what I'm saying, with how I live my life between training in the morning. I usually wake up between 7 and 8, you know, start my training. And I try to get finished by 12. So when the modeling portion comes in from a shoot to auditions, you know, I kind of, you know what I'm saying, able to balance out my day like that.
And your training is probably just a lot of basketball.
Yeah, it's basketball, you know, conditioning and weights. So, you know what I'm saying, that's typically Monday through Friday, so I can rest on the weekend.
Right.
Yeah.
He told me when he was coming in, they have him on 3-a-days right now.
Oh, yeah, 3-a-days. Yeah, man. So I typically start the mornings off with conditioning, which is either going to be stairs. We go to Manhattan Beach and run.
I just saw that. You were running the dunes, yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's intense. Yeah, it's intense. But, yeah, between the conditioning of that and then that's when you go into basketball with your skills, you know, typically ball handling, you know, shooting, making reads and stuff like that. And I always finish up with weights, so. Just trying to change my game, man. You know what I'm saying? Faster, stronger. You know, everybody trying to get better. So
right.
I just want to, you know, outwork the next man for sure. Yeah. So you got to think.
Have you developed a relationship with a trainer, or are you working with a team, or?
Right now, I just work out with my coach. I was working out with Pierce Sweat basketball for a while, and you know, it happened to not pan out. But yeah, it was still a good opportunity with them being the number one, you know, NBA trainers, like pretty much, you know what I'm saying, in the world. Like it was an eye opener, and there was a lot of little things I got to learn. Yeah.
That's dope.
So let's take it back a little bit.
Okay, for sure.
And let's start from the beginning.
All right.
So are you from here? Where are you from?
Originally I'm from Dallas, Texas.
Dallas, Texas.
Yes,
How do you like Dallas?
I love Dallas.
Yeah. Yes, how long did you live there?
My whole life. So, you know what I'm saying? I pretty much, you know, besides college, when I attended Arkansas, you know what I'm saying, Central Arkansas University.
Okay. Central Arkansas?
Yeah.
Green, right?
No, purple.
What's green? Is there Arkansas?
Arkansas Tech.
I might be tripping.
Arkansas Tech.
So when I was 19, I moved from Michigan to Arkansas to Fayetteville. And I lived I made it for like 8 months and moved back home. But like Arkansas is it's a little bit different.
No, it's just
a little bit different.
Yeah, it's small, man. So everybody know everybody, but
so you're from Dallas, went to school there, and then how long have you been in LA?
I moved to LA last year, 2017, like mid-April.
Okay.
So going on a year now, you know what I'm saying?
Okay,
so
dope.
I didn't know it was that new.
Yeah,
exactly.
I came out here in July, so yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, a lot of people I meet think I've been here 2 or 3 years when it's like, nah, I'm just now going on my first year, you know? And when I moved here, there's no family, no friends, just me. So me and my dreams.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So out of college, what did you do out of college? You know, as far as like, were you hooping? Were you working? Like, what were you doing out of college?
Out of college, man, I was, you know, it's a unique story. Like, you know, when I left college, I actually had signed a pro deal to the KBL, which is the Korea Basketball League. And then training after I graduated, I actually broke my wrist. I fractured my wrist. So then when the president of the league came over with the translator and everything, they see my wrist was broke and like terminated my contract. So I'm like, wow, like, you know what I'm saying? That really hurt me. But then at the same time, you know, me and my agent decided for me to aim toward the D League, you know, because that's one of the latest starting leagues, like November every year. So I moved back to Dallas. I was training every day. You know, it took probably like 2 months to get my wrist back healthy. After that, I was training every day. I had like, you know, workouts with the Dallas Mavericks organization, San Antonio organization, you know what I'm saying, with the D League. Didn't pan out. So from there, you know, I never knew anything, you know what I'm saying, besides basketball. Like,
Amber Alert, suspect vehicle, 2014 black and purple Dodge Challenger.
Wow. Be safe out there. Lock your cars.
That's actually really fucked up if you think about it. Like somebody just stole somebody.
Nah, people like I
somebody just stole a kid.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, a kid? That was wild.
That's why the Amber Alerts is for the kids.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Be safe out there, guys.
That got dark quick. Okay, so one question. I'm gonna stop you.
Yeah.
You said you had an agent.
Uh-huh.
How did you out of college?
Yeah, out of college. Yeah.
So how did that happen? So basically, what I'm trying to do is for anybody who's trying to do what you want to do? Like, what were all those things that connected you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you know, following my senior year, you know, a big thing about basketball and sports in general is just getting your film. Like, you know, you got to be able to market yourself. They don't want to just hear that you're good or hear that you can do this. They want to see, you know, a display of it. So I was able to get my film, make a nice mix. You know, I had a good season as well. A lot of players where they mess up is they put it all in the hands of their coach. You know what I'm saying? It's cool to trust your coach, but you know, I sat at home and, you know, I emailed like FIBA certified agents. I emailed, you know, a lot of people, you know, just from the link of my highlight along my bio. You know what I mean? And I was able to grab attention from like 5 to 6 agents. And from there, you know, negotiated contracts for who had my best interest. You know what I mean? You know, that's really big. So.
How did you find those agents? How did you know who to send your tape out to?
I had a few trainers in high school. Like, you know, I trained with a few agents. So they put the word out for me, but then I was able to go to a link that they actually sent me, and it's, you know, FIBA.com. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a certified agent, they're going to list their agents. So, you know what I'm saying? That shows me, 1, that you're a legit agent, 2, that you have legitimate clients as well. So, you know.
Right.
Nice.
So, okay, so you link up with the agent, you try a few things, you know, doesn't ultimately pan out with some of the bigger teams and whatnot. So what was the next move?
That was a big turning point in my life, actually, because I never knew nothing besides training for basketball. Like, you know, I did it my whole life to high school and then through college. So, you know, I had to learn, you know, you got to make some coins out here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Basketball not feeding me. So actually, funny thing is, a guy who was a senior when I was a freshman in college, he actually was a branch manager at Hertz Car Rental, and he hit me up if I wanted a job. So I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I need a job. And it was sales and management. So, you know what I'm saying? I never had a corporate job, suit and tie. And I went in the interview, got the job. And uniquely, like, you know what I'm saying, within the year of, you know, 2016 to 17, before we moved here, I ended up becoming like the #1 salesman in the nation. Like, it was crazy. I was bonusing checks from like $4,000, $5,000 a month. They never seen it before, but you know, I was able to, you know, work there and gain a lot of experience. You know, I worked there for like a year. And then what a lot of people don't know is I worked like 11 hours a day, like Monday through Friday. I worked 11 hours. I went to the gym on my lunch break every day, and then I lifted weights after work every day and then went home. So, you know, for a good year and a half straight, I didn't go out, I didn't party or nothing like that. I was just focused, you know.
Still focused on basketball.
Yeah, you know, within, you know what I'm saying, still having to earn a living. You know what I'm saying? So
those hours are crazy.
Like, yeah.
I worked at a dealership, so out of college, I went right to a dealership.
Oh, yeah. They'll slave you at a dealership, too. Yeah. They would definitely slave you at a dealership.
But if you have the right personality, like, you can make some good money. Yeah, honestly, it's just, are you willing to put those hours in? You know what I mean?
Yeah, the hours, man, they were brutal. I look back now, and I don't even know how I did it, like 11 hours a day. Like, open to close. Like,
and so the whole time you were there was all focused on, like, all right, I'm doing this for money, and then I'm still focusing on trying to get to the league ultimately, right?
Yeah, during the time, you know, I went to combines, I went to workouts. I was doing anything possible, you know what I'm saying? I had my agent, but I just, you know, I wasn't feeling like she was working as hard as I was working, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to the gym this many times a week, but you're not. I'm just on your end, I don't feel like it's matched, you know what I'm saying? So, but, you know, during the same time, of course, you know, I had my goals, you know, and that's what, you know, steered me to even wake up and work 11 hours, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause I just feel like it was for a bigger purpose at the end of the day.
I was going to say, it seems like you're a really hard worker and really about your routines. Is that all driven from that dream?
Yeah, it's
it's
funny.
Or like how you were raised? Like, where do you think that comes from?
It's just something within me. I don't know. Like, even when I was in 5th grade, like, I was like, yo, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to go to the gym for 3 or 4 hours. Like, that's just really what I love to do. Like, you know, working hard is just a part of me, you know what I'm saying? So I enjoy it. I enjoy getting better. I enjoy seeing, you know, improvements within myself, you know, especially that I created. Nobody put the pressure on me. It's what I wanted to do.
Right. I think a big, just off of what you're saying right there, a big thing is just to take action. You know what I mean? You can't wait for anybody. So just to relate, in high school, my team was always, you know, really, like in football, we were always really good, you know what I'm saying? But nobody ever went anywhere. because our coaches, they didn't push anybody. They didn't have any connections. They just focused on the season. They just wanted to win.
They want to get their win. They look good to the community and, that was just keep it going. I know
but then I know other high school coaches who were actually playing the agent and trying to push their kids, and they knew the college coaches, and they knew, and they had the connects. And you'd see these kids go to all the schools, but no one ever went from our schools, but we were always one of the best teams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like that's real. Like you have to go out there and do it yourself, you know, and
you
send the emails
man.
yourself.
You really do. You have to, man. That's just part of believing in yourself as well. A lot of people, I just feel like a lot of people don't believe in themselves like they should. That's a big part of it. You know, that's what's going to drive you. That's what's going to manifest, you know, good things in your life. That's how doors are going to open.
Right.
That's just something I firmly believe.
Right. Well, so many things can happen. We were just talking about this yesterday. But like fear, you know, it's the biggest debilitator. Like it'll 100%. Stop you, and then you'll tell yourself that, you know, I don't want to do. You'll come up with an excuse, even though this is what you want. You'll come up with any excuse that you can come up with. You know what I mean? When it's really like just take the step.
Yeah, take it.
You know, just try, because you don't know what will happen. You know what I mean? So.
Exactly. Yeah, it's about taking a leap of faith. I was talking to my cousin maybe like 2 or 3 days ago, and I was just like, you gotta be a risk taker. Like you can't be scared of rejection. You can't be scared of failure. Like you just gotta go for it. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the biggest steps is going for it.
Right.
For sure.
Okay, so I guess fast forward a little bit. Then what? Then what's the progression? So from out of college, working at Hertz, working out still, what was the next move?
Man, funny story. So being the branch manager, you know, I pretty much like control everybody in the whole branch, like everything, like the cards that went out to the people, everything. So I'm a pretty cool manager, you know what I'm saying? So the girl comes in that was working under me, said she had to go somewhere. It was probably like 9 a.m. I let her go till she's supposed to be back at 10. She gets back at 12. I don't make her sign out or nothing like that. So she gets back. So it's like I'm already suited up to go to the gym, you know, like I do every day on my lunch break. So I was like, you know, since I did give you an extra 2 hours, I'm going to just go to the gym an hour and a half. I do that. I come back. I say, hey, you know, to everybody. I don't get no response. I'm like, you know, I felt some energy in the building. I'm like, you know, what's going on? She ends up going out the back. She leaves, never comes back for the rest of the day. I'm talking about if you working at 5 to 6, you know, like when it's closing, like it's hectic, like. So I was already upset, and then come to find out, I go out to my car, and my car is keyed. Like I'm talking about, like a movie, like 2 in the front, 2 on the sides. It was bad. Like I was pretty upset. So, you know, I waited to see if she was gonna come back. She didn't come back. I called.
She keyed your car? Okay, all right.
I mean, look, she leaves at 3. She doesn't come back. The car cleaner comes back like, hey, is there something wrong with your car? And I'm like, there shouldn't be. And then, you know, so next day at work, I try to be as calm as I could, you know, because I'm opening up and she opens with me. So, of course, she comes 2 hours late to work because she's probably scared because she knows she keep my car. So then, you know, I'm handling customers and I'm out here doing a walk around and I see her pull up. So when I go into the building, I'm like, hey, are you going to pay for the damages to my vehicle? Like, it's like $1,200. And then she was like, what are you talking about? So then, you know, I was like, you know what I'm talking about? You know, we had a little, you know, some words exchange. And then she pretty much like kind of went off on me as if, you know, I was in the wrong. Like, so then at the end of the day, a customer called like the president of Hertz. Like I'm talking about every representative of Hertz in the whole Metroplex comes up there and I get fired. And I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Like I get fired. She gets to stay. They're like, they have no proof of her key in the car because the camera wasn't right there. So, you know what I'm saying? And I remember that was like March 24th, like the end of March. So I'm just like panicking, you know, I'm talking to my mom. As soon as I left the job, I actually went to my mom's house, you know what I'm saying? I was just felt defeated. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, I work 11 hours a day here. Like, you know what I mean? Like I do everything for this company or whatever. And then I get home and, you know, she just told me, she's like, has to be a sign, like, you know what I'm saying, that you're not, you know what I'm saying, like you done what you're supposed to do there. You gain the lessons of life that you need to learn, and you just need to go out there and chase your dreams. Because before that, like the whole month before that, I kept saying, I think I want to go to LA. Like the one time I went to LA, I got a lot of love, and I just walked the beach. So I feel like if I went there, no lie, like for real, one spring break. But I was saying that like the last month, and that happened. So 2 days later, I packed my car up and I came out here. That's how I ended up out here.
So did you, I mean, okay, well, so
I know that's a lot.
When you made that decision,
yeah.
so you talked to your mom and basically it was like, all right, like I did what I had to do and it's time for me to do what I want to do. Like, did you know, like at that point, like how did you decide, like, all right, I'm going to LA? Like, and then also the second part to that is like, how did you decide, like, where did you move? Like, what did you do, I guess?
Yeah. Man, I don't know. Like that night, you know, I pretty much just stayed in. It was probably like 12 noon too. You know what I'm saying? I usually get off at 6. So, you know, I stayed. I was thinking a lot. You know, I was like, you know, I was asking for a sign. Like, you know, and the thing is, they didn't like. They told me I was on leave, you know, suspension that day, and then they'll let me know if I'm fired or not or whatever. Like, so that night I wasn't, you know, completely fired, but, you know, I felt the chances, but I'm like, you know what, I just asked God for a sign, you know. And the next morning they called me and was like, yeah, we got to let you go. So I was like, okay, so that's definitely it.
That was the sign.
Yeah, and I was just panicking, man, because, you know, when you used to getting that certain income and you just managed, like, you know, you got your bills, all that type of stuff. You're like, you know what I mean? So I was kind of shook from the whole thing, but I remember I had a friend, like one friend in high school that moved out here a few years ago who was producing music. And I reached out to him and I was like, because he was actually the guy I came to visit, you know, spring break I came out here. And I was like, how you doing? Like, you still live in LA? And he's like, yeah, man. And I'm like, yo, like, I really need to come out there. Like, something telling me I need to come out there. And he was like, I just so happen to have a room, like, in my house, like, whatever. So, like, it all manifested, like, within the same time.
Wow.
And then, you know what I'm saying, we scheduled a day, which is, like, a few days later. And when I pulled up, he was like, yo, you really out here? And I'm like, bro, I'm not playing. Like, I'm really out here. Like, everything in the car, like, you know what I mean?
So what did you just take, I mean, like whatever you had saved up or whatever you had and you just came out, you didn't have any job lined up? You didn't have anything lined up?
Nothing. Like, there was nothing. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know one person besides him, like, in this whole city, you know? And when I got here, people kept trying to scare me off, like, you know, you're in the toughest city, all this stuff. And it's like, bro, you're not scaring me off. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just,
right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I literally moved here, no job, no source of income, no nothing.
Knew one person.
One person.
Right.
Yeah.
Still ultimately wanting to play basketball.
Yeah. No. And I had a plan, you know what I'm saying? Like, my main plan to come out here was to play in the Drew League. Like, that's all I wanted to do. Like, I was like, you know what? Like, all I'm missing is the exposure because the talent's there. So that was my main goal. Like, I came here and like the next day I was working out at 6 a.m. Like, it never stopped. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was working out at 6 a.m. there. I was doing it here. So that was my ultimate goal.
So what was your first job? Like when you got out here, all right, not what was your first job. When you got out here, how did you find the first job? Like, how did you get work?
What you mean job?
Like, or what did you do? What was how did you get any income, I guess? When you moved out here and then it was like, all right, I'm here now and I need to figure out what to do. Like, what was that thought process, I guess? Because you gave up the hurts.
Yeah.
So now you're out here, you don't have a job. Like, what was the...
So at first I was like, you know what? I'm going to apply some places, you know, like while I'm just training for basketball, you know, I applied to some places like using Indeed and stuff like that. I don't know. I applied to a lot of places, man. Maybe like 40 jobs and no one got back to me. I'm like, I got a bachelor's and no one's getting back to me. So I'm just like, you know, like, I was taking a lot of things as signs, like, you know what I'm saying? I just felt like there was more. Like, he didn't bring me here to do what I was doing back home. Like, he didn't, you know, that's not why he brought me here. Like, if that was the case, I was going to be back home comfortable doing that. You know what I mean? So after like a month or so, you know, I had it calculated though to where like I was good for like 3 months, like 3 to 4, you know what I'm saying? 3 months. So it's like,
figure it out.
That's about what I had too.
So you're not going crazy because if you come out here with a month, it's like you panicking, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So, man, funny thing is, like, I got a call from the Hearst people, you know, and it was like, because what my mom told me to do is when I left, she was like, yo, you should apply for unemployment. You know what I'm saying? I worked all them hours, like, you know what I'm saying? So I did it. I called them. They're like, no, we can't approve you. You got fired. Like, you was in the wrong. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you was in the wrong, whatever. And then a month after I got here, they called me back and was like, yo, we're going to approve it, you know? Like, and it was crazy. So, yeah, so I got approved for, like, unemployment for, like, I don't know, like 4 months. And it was, like, the max. Like, I was working so many hours. So it was just a blessing, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm real spiritual. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think everything happens for a reason, man. So I think it just allowed me to build build time to actually go out, meet people, build connections, you know what I'm saying, and just branch off from there. You know, it all happened pretty naturally.
So what was the first thing that you got paid for out here? What was the first, I guess, income stream that you had? Or
I think it was like small like gigs, like as far as like modeling, like like little brands, like shirts.
But you never modeled before.
The thing is, I didn't well, when I was in Dallas, people was telling me I should model and stuff like that. So I wasn't doing legit shoots though. Like I knew people with cameras, so like
right.
I can dress. So like I was just taking pictures in my clothes, just so I can display high quality pictures. So but besides that, the only thing I did was a small show called The Model Experience. You know what I'm saying? Someone told me to go to that. I went to that. That was in Dallas, but that was like maybe 6 months before I even ended up moving out here. And that's all the modeling I had did. So
just found some gigs through connections out here.
Yeah, funny thing is, like my first day out here, I went to the gym. Of course, like I went to go play, and I met a guy. Named Ash. He's a good dude. He ends up being from Dallas. He ends up being like knowing an agent I know from Dallas. Like it's kind of crazy. He played basketball, and now he out here modeling. So he's really able to. He really brought me around a lot of people, and it really like, like from there, just between my energy and my conversation with people, I was building connections. Like so, photographers, like, hey, I know this brand. Like what I'm saying. Word of mouth is the biggest way to spread the word. So I kind of had it happen like that. Yeah. So from just small little gigs to I don't know, runways just started just expanding. Yeah, for real.
Yeah. What was the transition from doing just normal photo shoots to your first runway? It was pretty different.
Yeah, it was real different. I remember like this agency I ended up starting to work with. They told me the BET Experience, they was having a runway show.
Yeah.
And I should go with Angela Brinks. So they had kind of like already had the word in for me. So I went. I got picked, and man, I was really nervous, like, what I'm saying? Because it was big. It was a lot of stars there, like the shade room. A lot of people was there. And then I was like the 6th person in line. And then like right when they was like, go, all 6 of the people in front of me like just ended up behind me. I'm talking about I never seen it. And they was like, just go. And I got pushed out. And I'm the first person in the whole show. And you know what I'm saying? I just try to walk with confidence, remember everything that I learned, everything I studied. And I came out for the best. I built a lot of connections from that one walk. So yeah, it was huge though, man. It's a big difference.
What was the education for that? Like, did you work with some people?
Yeah, I actually did. When I was back in Dallas, there was an agency that wanted to work with me, but it's not no market, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. I really wasn't a fan of modeling. Like I really didn't care. Like I'm really like wake up to play basketball type of person. So, yeah. But they offered me free acting classes, free modeling classes. So I went to like maybe like 3 or 4 of them. So it's just your steps, your posture, your chin, how you looking forward. Did a lot of walks in the mirror, and then as you walking, she constructing. Yeah. So yeah, man, that really helped me a lot though. So
why did they offer you free classes just because they saw it, like they thought like saw some talent, or like what was the?
Cause okay, like when I was like dipping and dabbing in the modeling a little bit. The model experience. That's what it was. The lady backstage. She happened to be the owner of the whole agency. She was like, yo, you have a look. Like, you should come here, and gave me her card. And she was like, it's illegal. Don't tell them when I gave you the card. And then once I met her, that's how it ended up happening. Like, she's like, I own this agency. I can offer you classes, to really, help you out. So that's how it worked, yeah.
So if there's someone that's wanting to get into runway or just modeling in general, like what do you think is a good first step for them?
One thing I tell people, because I get this a lot, like really a lot per day, and you gotta be willing to invest in yourself. Like a lot of people just think you just get it, like, and that's not how it happens. Like I was going to classes, you know what I mean? Like I was doing shows for free. I was doing a lot of stuff, like, you know what I mean? And it's like that's why before I moved here, and I think what really helped me out when I got to LA is I had very good pictures, like, you know what I mean? Like I'll be driving to photographers. It's not close. Like you got to invest that time, that gas, getting outfits, you know what I mean? Like building a portfolio pretty much, you know what I'm saying? I think that's the first step, building a portfolio, getting a quality picture. So that way, once you go into these companies or you go into these agencies or you go into this designer, they see, they have a visual aspect of you, you know what I'm saying? Right. You're going to need a headshot. You're going to need a full body shot, and they're really picky, really choosy on that.
Did you like just via Instagram, like how did you, like the pictures that you had and all that from before, like where was that all just on like different platforms?
No, it was all on Instagram. Yeah. Man, I had my Instagram, man, since like before Droid users could have it, like 2012. So,
Right.
like, and it's been through a lot of phases. Like one time it was just like a college basketball star phase. Like, how the page would look, and then one time I had like maybe 50 sneakers on there. Like I'm telling you, it was crazy. Like it's been through so many phases, man. But you know, that's why I pretty much had a majority of my pictures, and that's you know what helped me think about getting into modeling too. Like, cause people always ask me like, you know, you look like you're modeling. Like, why don't you just model?
Right.
Yeah.
So there's a I think with models there's a confidence thing, and like how do you like have you always been confident in yourself and your look? Because like there's people that I don't know. I think the best models are the most confident because they're just, you know what I'm saying? And so there's a line of like confidence and like cockiness. You know, I know a few models and whatnot, but like what would you tell somebody who wants to model but they're a little bit shy? Like what would you say to them? You know what I mean? Like maybe they have the look, maybe they have it, but just in here, it's just like they weren't. I mean, you worked as a sales guy. I'm a sales guy, so I understand that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you deal with people. Like you talk to people. That's what we do.
Yeah.
But like for somebody who wants to model, or like maybe it's their dream, but they're just too shy, or like they can never do it. You know, in front of somebody. Mm-hmm. What do you tell that person?
Like you said, something to piggyback off of what you said. It's just it's about being confident, man. It's like. You gotta go into photo shoots. You gotta go into auditions. You know, feeling like you know that you're supposed to do this. This is your time. Like you know, like you worked for this. That's what I'm saying. Like that's why it all falls back to you putting in the work in. Because like if I go in the gym and I'm confident, like it's for a reason. Like you know what I'm saying. Which there's a lot of people who are confident for no reason, I must say. But you know what I'm saying. I just think. You know, you just gotta be confident. It's about the people you have around you. The people that's around you should be building you up as well. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, that's what I could say, man.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. I think that's a good point because, like, once you find success, and if someone was to just look at you or your Instagram or anything, sometimes when people are finding success, it looks simple or easy. Yeah, and I think that's what. One of the things that I wanted to share because we've spent some time together is just how much actual work goes into every single part of it.
Yeah, a lot of work.
Yeah, it's not handed. It's not handed to people because they are good speakers or look good or whatever. Like it's always based around the work.
No, exactly. Yeah. That's something I really just I can't even go on that enough. Like I've been going to gyms for like 5 hours a day since like 5th grade. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's just about the work you put in. Like everybody gonna think it's a handout. People come to me left and right, seriously, like, get me in the Drew. Like, bro, do you know what I did to go to the Drew? Like, you know how much I worked out, bro? Like these 6 a.m.s are from high school. Like, you know what I mean? Like, bro, like I was driving to so many tryouts when I got here, like emailing coaches, like, bro, like just give me a workout. And the Drew, they don't even give people workouts, you know what I mean? So it's just not as easy as it seems, but you know, I always tell myself it's gonna be worth it at the end. You know what I'm saying? That's part of taking a risk. You know what I mean? So,
do you like the grind part of it, but the workout part of it, and do you enjoy working out? Do you enjoy all that?
Yeah,
so that helps, right? That helps.
I think it builds you. Yeah, it builds you, man. Because I mean, basketball just really built me as a person. Like, whatever I do, I'm gonna work hard. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's something that I've been doing. Like I wanted to play Division I basketball, so I worked hard for it. You know what I'm saying? So if I want to be this model, I'm gonna work hard for it. I'm gonna go to these shoots, these auditions. You know what I'm saying? Just take that extra, do what other people ain't doing, man.
Right.
I'll work the next person. You got to.
So now you work with an agency, right? So what's the process now? I mean, obviously you're working out a lot. You have different basketball opportunities coming up, but for modeling and for any other opportunities that you're taking, I don't know if you're doing any acting or music or anything else, but how do you, you're like an entrepreneur, right? You're a freelancer, you're your own boss, you're your own business. How do you break up your life or break up your goals based on those different things you're doing?
You know, first and foremost, I thank God that I'm fortunate to have people in my corner, in my circle, you know, that believe in me in all aspects and everything I'm doing. You know, the people that I have around me, it's like we all, you know, have a certain agreement that, you know what I'm saying, I'm the talent, you know? So I need to be doing my part as in working hard, eating right, supplements, you know, resting, all that type of thing. So I do have a basketball agent and a model agency, and then I do have a commercial acting agency. So with that, you know what I mean, I'm able to actually focus on my skill set, basketball, and my body, you know, modeling. And then I'll have like basketball agent wise, he's out emailing coaches, GMs, you know, trainers, like, you know what I'm saying, sending out my links, you know, my stats, you know, college stats to Drew League stats, professional stats. Working on that end, just trying to sell me as a basketball player, you know, and I talk with him every single day. I'm pretty sure I have a missed call from him right now.
So you got some people that are keeping you in check a
little bit.
Gotcha.
Exactly. And that's on both ends. They're all doing the same thing. Nice. One's contacting brands, one's submitting me for auditions, one's, you know, submitting me, you know, or sending me out to professional teams. So
yeah.
There's so much that goes into actually being successful in something in I guess like, you know, anything in entertainment. Like you have to have a team, you have to have a squad. Like when you look at these rappers or these singers, like they didn't do it by themselves.
I always say
they got
that.
a whole team behind them but they also have to believe in them. Like you said, like they know you're the talent, you got to hold your end, and then they have to hold up their end.
Yeah.
But like there's so much that goes into being successful. It's a business, right? You're a business. So you have to have marketing, you have to have social media, you have to have sales, you have to have, you know, IT, like all these different things that would be in corporate need to be incorporated for you in order to make it work. You know what I'm saying? Like talent will only take you so far. There's a lot of talented people, a lot of attractive people, a lot of dope rappers, a lot of dope singers, but they don't make it because they don't have that team around them. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I think that's important.
Yeah,
for sure.
I have a question. So, do you have any thoughts on work-life balance? It seems like work is life for you, but when do you know when to turn it off, or do you turn it off? Like when do you allow yourself to go have a good time, or is it all kind of, I mean, it's not a 9 to 5, right? So Fridays and Saturdays are just another day.
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess how do you approach that?
You know, typically Saturday and Sunday is going to be my rest days.
Okay, cool.
You know what I mean? So those days are kind of open, you know. I like simple stuff. I mean, I really enjoy rest. I mean, I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't being around good people, resting, good vibes, beaches, you know, just chill stuff.
Okay,
yeah. Cool. So, but people do ask me all the time, like, I get this, like, maybe every other day, like, what do you do for fun? Like, people don't really understand that my grind is fun to me. Like, like it's that entwined, like, you know what I mean? Like, basketball's fun, modeling is fun. Like, my life is pretty much fun.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So people ask me what I do for fun, and it's like
you're doing what you enjoy to do. We talked about this yesterday too. One thing that Gary Vee always says is, well, not always says, I saw something on social media that he said, but like everybody wants to make it. And then when you make it, you can sit back and look back and be like, I made it, I did it. But it never works that way. The more you get, the more you want. So he goes, once you realize that the grind is the success, the fact that you enjoy the grind, that's what success is. Exactly. So like you're already successful. Now you just keep going because you're already happy doing what you're doing. So if you look at it that way and you look at it like, shit, I'm doing what I want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And it only, you know, you're only going to want more.
You're good.
I agree.
We got
with
a little
100%.
ninja creeping back here in the background. It's back there, back in the corner. Yeah.
You can walk around.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah,
it's all good.
Let me get a visual from here.
Yeah.
Second door on the left.
one that's open? Yeah.
Yeah, we're saying that, I think it's like, it's all perception.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like some people go into the gym and like, man, like, I don't know. I just look at you like you don't love the game. Like, I go in here and I get energy. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, like, I don't know. I'll do a couple laps. I'm like, oh yeah. It's like, I don't know. I just get energy. Like, I love what I do. Like,
right.
Every single part about it, waking up early, like all that stuff. Like,
how important is your diet to you?
My diet, man. Oh man, I just had a big old argument with my agent about my diet because my diet has never been the best, man. I always
Sweet tooth Aubrey?
Yeah, man. I've always just felt like, you know, I work harder than everybody. So I'm just gonna, you know what I mean? Like I'll just eat whatever.
Right.
Like, and I'm from Texas, which is the most obese state in America. So you know what I'm saying? Not blaming them, but you know, I couldn't choose what I was, you know, given to eat growing up. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, but Actually, of recent, like within the last month, man, I really just been changing it more, like more greens, more vegetables, more rice. Like I can never say I'm gonna ever go vegetarian or vegan.
Right.
Yeah, I can't do it, but I'm sticking to straight white meat right now, and typically some meal preps of veggies, grilled chicken, or grilled chicken rice. Stay away from dairy products, red meats, fried foods right now.
Right. I mean, it's like the more that you put in, as far as working out and conditioning, like you're putting hours in. Mm-hmm. So it is combating that. But as you get older, you know what I'm saying? It's hard because I have a lot of friends, and I used to say this all the time. I'd be like, oh, give me 2 months, I'll be back. But like, no, that would maybe 5 years ago. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But like, you don't get it back in 2 months anymore.
It doesn't just bounce back.
Right. Yeah, but for you, you're an athlete. So like I played football in college, and like you're always having to do something in morning runs, and then you practice. You're on your feet running around for 3 hours at a time. Like when are you ever doing that if you don't play sports? You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm sure that helps you out.
No, yeah, definitely. Just in recovery, you know what I'm saying? I just felt like, man, when this approach and the discussion we had, it's like, hey, man, you've been putting in all this work. Why not? Like, it can only benefit you. Like, eating good is not going to make you worse. Like,
right.
You have to get a plus somewhere on the attribute, right? So it's like, yeah. So I'm like, you know what? If I'm going to stick to it, if I'm going to do it, you know what I'm saying? And this is really what I want to do.
Right.
Yeah, it's time to do it,
It's all about energy, honestly.
Yeah.
Like the way you eat. We had some people on here talking about that nutrition, but if you're eating right and you just innately have a lot of energy.
Yeah.
So imagine if you're eating perfect and you have more. Like, what can you do with more?
Exactly. I mean? Yeah. I think, and another thing I always talk about that kind of reflects with that would be like being comfortable. I feel like you never be successful being comfortable. Like, I don't know one person who's comfortable. Like, I'm at home. My family's here. My dad has a job. I can just work under him. I don't know anyone who's successful being comfortable. Like, I've only gotten success out of my most uncomfortable positions. Like, I don't know where that next dollar is gonna come from. Like, I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Being uncomfortable, man. Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, me going to work out and then going and get a double cheese. Like, yo, that's comfortable. Like, you know what I mean? That's what I want to do. That's what I'm telling myself I want to do. But
that shit, it tastes good, dog.
What? Put the bacon on there.
From where?
Well, I'll eat it. A fat burger. I'll get any.
My favorite double cheese is from Burger King. I don't know why. Something about those double cheeses.
They got the flame broiled. Like, trust me, bro. I've eaten a lot of fast food, man.
What was so we had a couple guys on here. One of them, do they both own that supplements company?
Yeah, together.
Together. Okay, cool. They have a supplements company and they do like detox teas and a whole line of products, right?
Oh yeah.
But what was he saying about just kind of defining the reason why we crave those types of foods? And that it's all about the short-term mental like stimuli or whatever.
Right. Yeah, I think that was it. It's like that short-term.
It's an addiction and it repeats. Like you get stimulated by that juicy burger and then you get a burst of sugar or whatever from that, and then you hit a low.
Doesn't
and then
last though.
And then your mind tells you like, "Yo, do that again. Like that was dope."
Yeah.
And then and that's why it's good for us, and that's why it's addicting.
Right.
Because it's good.
I never heard of that, but that actually makes a lot of sense. Like you can get addicted.
All right. You moved out here. Some shit went down at work. You got the sign. You came out here and you started modeling through networking. You got more opportunity. So let's go to the point to where when you guys met. Like, how did that happen? Where was that at? And I want to talk about Nike and Jordan, and I want to talk about all that. So let's get into that.
Mm-hmm.
When was that shoot? Was that like
summer or no? It was like mid-November. Mid-November.
Okay,
yeah,
so you moved in April or something?
April, yep. Mid-April.
Okay, so you're in LA for like 6 months-ish.
6 months, yeah.
And your agency is sending you to these types of auditions, and that's just how it happened?
Yeah, I remember my first biggest gig was probably with Gatorade and the national G League commercial. Yeah, I got booked for that.
And then I saw you were in the Superfly.
Yeah, then I did the Nike and Jordan. What was that? What was it? The flights.
The like Hyperdunk and
yeah,
Superfly.
The Hyperdunk, yeah, and then the Superfly, yeah, both of them commercial ads. I got that probably like 2 weeks after Gatorade.
So those were some of your first like true commercials?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, those were some of my first true commercials, man.
Yeah. And then so we did a shoot together. It was for was it the holiday? I think it was the holiday season of products.
Yep. And then the City of Flight releases, all the City of Flight releases.
Stuff?
Yeah, the full campaign for that.
So it was the Jordan brand leading up to the All-Star weekend, which they fully sponsored and kind of had takeovers for. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was a fun shoot. Yeah, and they've used, I mean, the content has been used in so many different ways. As you saw, I saw you posted pretty recently, like all the animations. And they had the
so much stuff. Content. Yeah, man. The campaign, it was huge. It was a blessing. It's been between, you know what I'm saying, the Jumbotron, the All-Star game, to the lookbook, to the store poster, to, it goes on. Like, you know what I mean? It was a blessing, man. Jordan's always been my favorite brand. Like, yeah. I could never hoop my team Nikes in high school. Like, I was the one person with some Jordans.
What's your favorite pair?
I gotta go Bred 11s, man. I don't know. Growing up, I just always liked the patent leather on the 11s. I always like retros, man. And that's just something.
Yeah, because you were rocking the 3s on the shoe, cements, but you said that you used to have some 3s too, right?
Yeah, I had the black cements. Yeah, those one of probably my top 5 pairs, man. Classics. Yeah,
nice, I like. Nice.
That's crazy because, like, straight up, I never got into it.
Oh, okay,
I never got into it. And I didn't hoop. You know, I played, like, I never was, I don't know. I just wore whatever shoes. Like, I was always the type of person to wear shoes and then trash them and then buy a new pair.
Yeah, it's
crazy too because he was never really a shoe guy either, and then he once he started working with the agency,
honestly,
like now he knows every pair, and he's always rocking Jordan, and I'm so jealous of him because I love basketball. Yeah, like I love the NBA, like I love basketball, like that's all. Like as far as watching sports, that's all I care about. And then so like he came out here and he's like he's in it. You know what I'm saying? What was it like doing that first shoot with Jordan and Nike? That's like the pinnacle.
Yeah, it is.
It was the first one you were actually playing ball.
Yeah.
Oh, you played ball with ours, but there wasn't like video per se or something.
Yeah. The one was more live action, of course, because it's like, you know what I'm saying, it's a commercial, it's basketball.
But just knowing that it was you know, Jordan,
I know it was crazy to think about, man. Like the Nike barber, like all that type of stuff. Like it was a dream come true, man. And I was just blessed, you know what I'm saying? I didn't take it for granted. I just appreciate it. You know, everybody I got to meet on set, you know, from stylists to designers to creatives, everybody. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just wanted everybody to know who I was and just meet everybody because I'm genuinely here. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And I think that's what's important, at least important to me. And one of the reasons why we connected is a lot of people do that from like non-authentic reasons, I guess. And I think it's kind of about finding those real people that will commit to something that they say they're going to do, or just, I don't know, somebody that you actually want to spend time with rather than just how can I use this person to get somewhere.
No, 100%.
There's a difference.
No, and that's another big part of the whole Jordan thing that I got that, you know, was a big blessing was to be a stand-in for the Jordan team. You know, when it was me, you, and the whole Jordan team the week prior before the whole campaign.
Oh, yeah.
We got to go to each location.
That's right.
And, you know what I'm saying, I took pictures at each location and just, you know what I'm saying, just to be around everybody like that and it's genuine love, genuine, you know what I'm saying, friendship, man. It was good to build that with every single person on the Jordan team. And for me to be selected was huge too.
That's dope.
I feel like it kind of happened kind of fast for you. You know what I mean? Coming out here, the progression. But all the work that you put in for basketball and all the work that you put in your whole life, you may not have known that it was going to be for this, but like it was for this. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's how I look at it. Is like, doesn't matter what you believe, doesn't matter what you think. You were putting in work and it led you to this point. But if you didn't put that work in earlier, you wouldn't be able to do this point.
Exactly.
So like in sales, sometimes we get lucky, like, you know, you get a new account next year and that account buys and like you didn't have to do anything. But what my boss says though is all the work you put in that last year and how hard you worked, you deserve that. Yeah, when that opportunity comes in, you know what I mean? Or like at Hearst, when someone comes, you know, 50 cars get rented in a day and like some days, you know, maybe just 2, but like that 50, like you deserve that because all those hours you put in before, you just didn't know it was for that moment.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's like, if you didn't do all that, if you didn't work as hard as you did, you wouldn't have never been able to be in this opportunity.
No,
you know
exactly,
what I mean?
Man. I wish more people thought like that, man. I know a lot of people, it's like like maybe let's say when I went Division I, it's like, you know, you grow up with other basketball players, you play AAU and stuff like that, but it's like at that point they're like, man, I need to get in the gym with you. Like, and it's like, what about after practice in 10th grade when I stayed? Like, why didn't you stay in? Like, people wait too late, man. And it's all about, that's why I say mindset, man. It's your mental. That really
it's a long game.
Yeah, exactly. It's a long game. Life's long. There's people I have teammates that were ranked higher than me or considered better than me, you know, high school, you know, but like you said, it's a long game. That was the first quarter. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't working. And now it's the table is turned, you know what I mean? So.
And it's never too late to start, but you have to put the work in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
You have to put the work in. So.
In every aspect, you know what I'm saying? And no matter what you're doing, that's what I'm saying. I respect hard workers. I don't care if you're white collar, like, you know, you're putting in the hours, like, to feed your family, where it's nice to have your nice apartment, whatever it is, you're working hard. Like,
that's how you get the raise. That's how you get the next job. That's how you get the, you know, that's how you go from the sales guy to the manager to the director to the VP. You know what I mean? It's all about effort, really.
No, exactly.
Is there anything else you wanted to get into before I?
So I guess I would just say before that, you know so right now you're in it. You know what I'm saying? You're hooping, you're modeling, you're booked, you're all over the place. Is what I see on social media and whatnot, and just doing it. Like, what is your ultimate, like right now, what is your ultimate goal? Like one with basketball, I guess I'm sure the ultimate goal is to be in the league, but like on the other side of it, like have you thought about, like, what do you want to do? I mean, do you want to be an actor? Do you want to be I don't know what the highest pinnacle of being a model is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
Like, what have you thought, or are you just in it?
I think, you know, I get asked that a lot too. And, my main focus is, I'm not gonna lie, basketball. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's my focus right now. With age and everything like that, I just feel like the window's smaller than every other door, you know? So that's why I put that above everything right now.
Right. It was what got you here too.
Exactly. And I just feel like, man, if I really achieve that ultimate goal, like, that's gonna make everything else that I ever wanted, like, go crazy. If I get to G League, if I get to the NBA, like, I've already done stuff with Jordan. Now, boom, like, it's already a shooting.
Everything
like,
that you're already doing now is gonna blow
like,
up.
It's gonna go straight GQ. Like, everything's good. Like, you know what I mean? So I just feel like me focusing on the one goal that led me to where I'm at now, or led me to the opportunities I have now, is gonna open all the doors, you know what I'm saying, that I've had. So that's really how I look at it, man. I'm not, hey, I want to be in the NBA and then I want to be top supermodel. It's not really like that with me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want to be in the NBA. Like,
well, your one focus of basketball and like the one love and the one thing that you've been consistent at has brought everything else. So I would say keep doing that.
Nah, for sure, man. Yeah, for sure.
So there's a couple questions that we ask each person we bring on, and there's just 3. You don't need to go really heavily into detail, but just kind of quick rapid fire. First one is, like, what do you think the most, and we've already covered some of this, but what do you think the most important habit is for a creative or an entrepreneur, or I guess is anyone trying to accomplish a goal?
I might say goal setting. Just knowing what you're after. You can't wake up not knowing what you're after. What's not pushing you, what you're not headed for. You know, it's something my mom always taught me when I went, like, before, you know, of course, high school, my biggest dream was Division I. That's all I thought about, like, every day. So something to write it on the wall and put it on the wall. So, like, that really helped me a lot. I seen it every day. This thing, goals in general, setting goals, setting small goals to lead to the main goal. Just goal setting, you know, that along with consistency.
Consistency, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a big, you know, that
for
leads
sure.
to a good outcome.
What about your biggest influences? And that can be in life, in ball. I know you've worked with a lot of NBA and ex-NBA guys. Is there anyone that specifically is a large influence for you? In either
any people you follow that you would recommend other people to follow, because ultimately, you know, whoever's hearing this, like, any people that are inspiration for you.
Man, it's a good question.
And if you think of one, we can always just throw it in the show notes too. Like, if you ever hit us up, but I guess then let's just separate it. Like, who's your favorite basketball player? And this isn't a trick.
I gotta go with LeBron James.
Let's go.
I just got
Let's go.
Yeah, just because just his consistency, like it's just
and the effort.
Yeah, his effort, his consistency, the pressure he had to, and then to like, but that's pressure though. Like, and it's like he exceeded it beyond expectations. Still to this day, like the person he is off the court, like you know what I'm saying. I just feel like he's just a good role model, a good person. You know.
They haven't caught him for one thing.
What I'm saying, like
the worst thing he's ever did was the way he left Cleveland.
Like he hasn't.
That was
not
it.
Even no DUI.
No, he's got
his
nothing.
Wife, like
Nothing.
Like he's like
nothing.
I don't know. And then just to perform the way he does, man, and just he's a leader. He lead by example. Like I'm big on leading by example. And that's just That's one person. I don't really look up to too many people, but I really look up to LeBron. Though, like I just think he's a solid person overall.
Have you guys been watching this?
They're killing. It's like 79-65 at the end of the third.
Who's up?
Cavs.
Oh
yeah.
They're done. Yeah, Raptors are done. Y'all took L's at home.
Yeah, it's over.
Funny thing is, I just left Toronto. I had did 2 photos out there. Yeah.
How was it?
It was cool, man.
We
happened to catch a snowstorm the last 3 days, and it hurt me so bad.
Really? That was just like a week ago.
Yeah, it hurt. Yeah, they was like, it's never been like this in April, never like that. And
Michigan's been like that this year too, I think.
Really?
They got some snow pretty late.
I didn't have no jacket, man. It was tough. But I built a lot of connections and, followed and, got numbers from a lot of people out there, and they just been hitting me up like, yo, we don't know what's going on with Cleveland. I'm like, man, like, they're hurt right now. Like,
yeah.
And then didn't they come out number 1 in the East?
Yeah, it's over for them.
LeBron was just like, bro, it doesn't matter.
Once they got that first one, because Cavs stole the first one.
Close one, man. And then it takes your heart out.
Lead the whole game, bro.
I just don't feel like the Raptors after DeRozan, man. I've never been a Lowry fan, so it's just like, no, I don't know. Yeah. After him, it's like,
DeRozan's dope. I like it. He's from out here. He's from Compton.
Yeah. He plays in the Drew League.
Okay.
I've seen him play, yeah. He's a good player for sure.
Yeah. So. All right. Last question. Just what has been a really rewarding experience for you in your work? Like that moment where you looked around and you were like, okay, like this is what's up. And it could be ball, it could be modeling. Anything come to mind specifically?
Probably the day I did the stand-in with the Jordan team. Like, bro,
really?
It meant everything to me.
Wow.
Like, I don't know, people like, y'all understand how many Jordans I've had growing up. Like, I used to like draw Jordans. Like, I used to sit on the computer and my mom would like in like 6th, 5th, 4th grade, like, and all I would do is just look up the Jordans and then like, bro, it's crazy writing down like Jordan 3 blue. Like, I wrote down, bro, it was crazy.
So basically what that means is that we had this large shoot with like a cast of, I don't know, 20, 30 plus models to capture a whole season's worth of product. But he was the one they chose to come on the scout to go check out all the locations, and he would just like stand in and model. And so he got to meet the whole team and whatnot. And that's when that's the first time we met. Well, besides casting, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's understanding. I mean, that's the percentages. Like, you know what I mean? Like
it was dope.
Yeah, it was dope, man. I met great people and built connections with great people.
Right.
That's something I'm big on also. I don't want to just meet you, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, relationships, longevity, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's how, I mean, honestly, like we've been preaching this, but like the power of conversation is real. And like for us to have this podcast and sit down and have a conversation and really get to understand your background, it's a whole different thing now if we ever work together or if we ever just any vibe. If we even go out together, it's a different vibe. We're on a different level now.
100%.
You know what I mean? Compared to like meeting someone, like you can fuck with anybody, you can vibe with anybody.
Yeah.
But like to really be on a level like that is a whole different thing. And that's what creates opportunity, because then now we're on the same wavelength and now we're thinking the same things. And like, I get where you're coming from. You get where I'm coming from.
100%. Yeah, man. I think it goes a long way. Indeed.
Yeah. Well, dude, thank you for coming on. I think that sharing your story is going to be inspirational to a lot of people. Obviously, you're a grinder. You're doing something right. So keep it up.
Yes, sir.
And we'll find ways to collab.
Oh yeah. Most definitely. You already know, man. I'm out here. I'm working. I'm steady. So I'm a block away, man.
Yeah, man. We're excited to see like where you go and what you do, man. And we wish you the best on all your endeavors, man.
For sure, man. Definitely.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Let's wrap it up.
All right. Thanks. Yep.